I'm Eileen Akad. Welcome to Center for Innovative Technology Limited, known as Citech. We are situated at Corby House, first floor in Westlands. Come with me. Citech, the home of engineers. At Citech, we not only teach you how to draw or make engineering drawings, we also teach you how to read engineering drawings. For the people who are just beginning, coming into engineering, we teach you from scratch. Once you learn at Citech, you can be able to confidently make an engineering drawing, read it, and also detail it. We not only teach you how to draw, we also train you how to use the softwares. For those engineers who have already done engineering, those engineers who have already done drawing in school, after you finish engineering, you can come and we train you how to use the software in your different fields of engineers. We not only have softwares for engineers, we also have softwares for architects. To find out more about these amazing courses, please visit our website at www.citech, that's citech.co.ke, or please call us, or please visit us at first floor Corby House in Westlands. We are waiting for you.
We are trying to configure, because we have people watching online, on live stream, yeah, so we are
You are the ones building the future, constructing new skylines, manufacturing new experiences, creating places and products for people. You are the ones reshaping the world with ideas, designs, engineering, and action. And this requires a design tool that is proven, dependable, trusted. AutoCAD. It's software for people who make things. 35 years strong, and AutoCAD is still the fundamental tool of design. It's a proven solution for capturing reality, for creating a concept, for 3D modeling, for 2D documentation. Clearly,
I'd just like to introduce the team that is here with us. I will start with Engineer Jeje. Please stand and wave. He'll be taking us through our presentation. I will go to Sales and Marketing, Madam Margaret. Please wave. Okay. I will start, we'll go also in Marketing, Madam Becky. We have our very able Madam Pesca. And there's one more. Madam Alice, please wave. All right, we also have our very own engineer. Engineer, we call him the Russian. Engineer Bernard.
So hi everyone.
Hi. And last but not least, our CEO, Madam Joyce.
morning, everybody.
Morning.
Nice to have you here.
So thank you so much for joining us. Even the people who are joining us online, thank you so much. Please chat us, give us a shout out from where you're watching us from, and we are glad to have you. Now, our next guest, the one who is opening for us the forum, it is an honor for me to introduce him. His name is Emmanuel Candice. He's the technical sales specialist of AEC for Autodesk. He has over 5 years experience demonstrating a passion of leveraging technology to shape a better world. Without further ado, let me invite him, Emmanuel Karibu.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. It all feels so familiar, as you will have well, later realized, know is that I am an ex-student and ex-employee at Citech. And it's such an honor to be back. It always feels like this. So, so I wanted to maybe open up this session today to just give you a little bit of inspiration, because I see a lot of young aspiring architects and engineers, and also seasoned professionals who are joining us in person and also online. While we're waiting for the technology to work, Bernard, I am a bit short of time.
New skylines, manufacturing new experiences, creating places and products for people. You are the ones reshaping the world with ideas, designs, engineering, and action. And this requires a design tool that is proven,
studying at Citech.
Dependable,
I see 1,
trusted.
2, quite a number here. Seasoned professionals, engineers, architects working in industry, and a lot of us who are also joining online. Jerry, I see that is also a seasoned engineer. So as we are waiting for this technology to work, I'd like to speak to you about from an industry perspective, what we as Autodesk understand as the design and make, the state of design and make. Now, it's very difficult for me to actually speak without a presentation, because it's very, it actually sticks when I actually show you something. So, my laptop. Oh, you want me to show my laptop? Okay.
Maybe as he's sorting it out, you could tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay.
Your life.
All right. So, fun fact: being an ex-Citech student and employee, I've had stints working with different partners and companies as well. I have a vast knowledge and experience of just about a decade now in the civil and structural engineering space. I've worked with, channel partners and training centers. I have been an Autodesk fan since 2008. And I joined Autodesk. An opportunity opened at Autodesk right about 2018, and I decided I will just apply for the role. And it's now my 5th year working at Autodesk as a technical specialist. So you might wonder, who's a technical specialist? Well, a technical specialist pretty much is, what we refer to as a pre-sales engineer. What do we do? Our work is to just build trust with customers, talking about the technology, showing you, what the technology does and the value engineering that comes into it. We do not really work with the numbers and all that stuff. We show you the shining bells and whistles about the solution. So my job actually involves 3 things. The first one is the fact that we work from a technical account management point of view. We work with engineers and architects on many accounts also with Citech to just help them to adopt the technology. The second one is that the most interesting part of my job as a TSS is, you can imagine, working at Autodesk, I get to see the latest before it's officially out. We get to test new stuff, new technologies that are in beta or they are currently being researched. So it's just to give give back feedback to the development team about the product strategy and direction. So it's all about localization. And then the third one, and the most important one, is being with you today, representing the company in such an event, speaking about who Autodesk is, and that's the other part of my job. I love my company. Yeah, I love working there. That's why it's been 5 years. I hope that I'm going to spend a lot more years. So I think,
You travel a lot. You don't know where you
and I travel a lot. 80% of my time, 80% of my job involves, traveling out of the country, not just meeting customers, and also, attending a lot of company-related events. So that's one of the other interesting things about my job. We were just joking with Joyce just the other day that I'm just like the hustler. Ninaingia, and I have a suitcase ready to take me on the next adventure. So that's one of the other things that I really want to talk to you about. So I believe the technology is good. How do I'll use this one. Okay, cool. So I want to talk to you today about the state of design and make. And it's a very, very important subject because I think it really should give you a little bit of overview and inspiration as to where the industry is, how we as Autodesk see it, and where would be the potential opportunities for growth for you young aspiring professionals as well as other practitioners in the industry as well. So a little bit about myself. Well, as you can see, that's my that is my very official portrait as a technical sales specialist at Autodesk, and I also do have other interests that are way more cooler than my job. So if you all know, and I'm sure that you already know AutoCAD, it is an Autodesk solution. Now, Autodesk been in the business now for over 40 years, and our users globally make great things with the solution. Whether it's buildings, whether it is cars, whether there are roads that are being built, or that blockbuster movie or cartoon that you already know about, an Autodesk software was actually used there. And it's in our vision to actually make sure that the solutions that we make help you design and make a better world. So we cover the architecture, engineering, and construction, design and manufacturing space, media and entertainment. So the building that you're sitting on, the car that you're driving, probably the road that you are using coming to school or coming to Citech, or that movie or that cartoon, that animation movie that is considered your favorite, an Autodesk software that has been used there. And it's important that we also highlight that long-term vision is to just being part of this process and inspiring the next generation of professionals, whether they want to make greener buildings, smarter factories, cleaner cars, or even bigger blockbusters, to just be part of this journey. But you know what? The truth is that we are coming into a time where the industry is roughed with quite a lot of challenges when it comes to project delivery. And you think about how projects are being done, how they are being delivered. There's always the issues about time. The nature of our projects are also becoming very complex. And it's also, one of the most important thing is that the economics of scale is also driving a lot of this. So to define this, I define them as seismic shifts, and this really ties into whole lot of the discussion of who we Autodesk are, and many of our channel our partners, including Citech, really giving you the opportunity to onboard you on the solutions and making sure that you are just up to date. But I want to talk about the seismic shifts that are coming up. The fact that the mounting external pressure. Do you see what's actually happening out there? There's an internal pressure to actually replicate what is being done outside. It's largely 2D, and that is largely a deliverable. I'm not sure if this is something that you probably are aware of. You can see this 3D revision cloud that a contractor actually decided to make one in 3 dimensional. I'm not sure if it actually applies here, or sometimes this could also be consequences on a larger scale. The fact that we are not really adopting the good technologies and practices in the construction, and not just in the buildings but also in the infrastructure projects, which is why We need to move away from the traditional or analog way of doing stuff. How are we going to do it? So moving away from, traditional or paper-based drawings, going into more intelligent, model-based designs. I'm sure right now nobody actually writes correspondences using, letters, using the post. But from a construction point of view, we talk about digital transformation. So moving away from traditional, kutoka analog, moving away from analog, going all the way to digital. But there's an acronym here that I want to talk to you about today, and it is what is building information modeling. Building information modeling, or what you know as BIM, serves as the foundation of digital transformation, not just for the not just for the building industry, but also even consider it in the infrastructure industry. And what is BIM? BIM is essentially using the process of managing the physical and functional characteristics of an asset. Assets could be a building, an asset could be a road, an asset could be a bridge. But the most important one is that you're using a model, a 3D model that has all the physical and functional characteristics to help you as an architect or an engineer or a contractor derive a lot of insights way before the construction breaks ground. And that's exactly a lot of the discussions that, moving forward when you talking to Citech and talking about, what BIM is essentially changing the way you plan, design, build, and even operate your buildings and infrastructure. So I'm just going to dive into the major findings, and I'm sure that there's a timekeeper here that is keeping me, on tour. So this report, the background about this set of design and make, we just wanted to ask, business leaders, architects, engineers, all across the globe, about how we just wanted to understand how they're using the technology and if it is indeed making impact. So a whole lot of these topics, centered around three things which I'm going to talk to you about: the resiliency of the business, talent acquisition and retention, because that's a whole lot of, a huge bulk of what you guys doing, and then the third one is sustainability. So let me start with business resilience. I don't know, I don't know if all of us have been, if some of us have been living under a rock or something, but you will actually notice that COVID-19 permanently changed the way we work, okay? And suddenly we came to realize that, by the way, we don't really need to even be coming to the office. We can actually adopt a hybrid kind of a setup. And that's the same way we did with the tools that we are using. We started resorting to Zoom, okay? Some of our, customers started using digital delivery tools, which I'm sure that my colleagues are going to talk about here. But a whole lot of them, when we asked them, since COVID, what has actually changed? And they said, you know what, this has really changed the way we work. And the reason where we're saying that is that they're seeing quite a lot of growth in depending on digital tools. And it actually brought in quite a lot of benefits if you think about it, like cost reduction, being able to open to new markets, and also that improved ability to deliver their work even better. And they also talked about the return of investment, because obviously with the investment that you take on tools, there's also an aspect of ROI, because investment in digital tools, this poll of our respondents actually reported that they were able to deliver expanding into bigger markets, and even being able to open new business units that were traditionally not possible if that move had not been changed. And it's important for you as students and also aspiring leaders and also existing professionals to realize that the more you adopt digital tools, the better you are prepared to face the uncertainties. So the next one I'm going to talk about is talent. Now, this is a very sensitive topic, And I think this is something that's personally very, something very near, that is so dear to me. Since COVID, there has been, massive change in how we source talent. So talent in terms of who's the right people that we need to employ with certain unique skill sets to help us deliver our projects. And if you look at the skill sets that, the employers and, your employers or your current employers or your future employers, or if you're a business leader, you actually see that the trend has actually shifted in the kind of skill sets that are being looked for today. And they are in these 6 broad categories. Interesting enough, Jerry, programming. A lot of them are hiring people who have enough regulatory knowledge, and some of them might be having maybe need of a unique skill set or unique skill set in a specific skill or a specific technology or a specific, specific system. So you can actually see now it's now going towards skill-based hiring. The third one is sustainability. And sustainability is important not just for you as users, but also as thinking about it as, a future business leader in the industry. Adopting sustainability, and this is something that is very big in our, our Kenyan government. It's very big on the sustainability, and you've actually noticed that Kenya has made a lot of commitments towards environmental sustainability. And it's important that people in the architecture, engineering, construction to start adopting sustainability practices. And a whole lot of them, you'll be very surprised to know, it's actually reaping a lot of benefits. Sustainability in terms of being able to do more with less. And if you think about it very well, it's really goes long term into how you're actually driving down cost of operations. If you considered, if I have to travel to Westlands and deliver this presentation, why can't I have done it online? That's just a sustainability practice. But I wouldn't do that because it doesn't always apply. So just to make sure that this is something that is in your minds as architects, engineers, and aspiring contractors, and even existing business leaders, sustainability will be a very huge business or a skill set differentiator in the next 20 or 25 years. So, when you think about, the business resilience, the talent acquisition and retention, as well as sustainability, you might think that a lot of these problems are, they are siloed. But if you think about it, they are intertwined. And that's the reason why I needed to have this, open up this discussion with you guys to think about, going forward, what would be your, what is you're thinking about the future and the success of your business or your long-term goals as a young aspiring professionals. It's important that you also start thinking about basically what would be your what are your goals for the future. And this, we're providing the technology, or providing the platforms, but it's also important to know that as the world is changing, and as you're making decisions to, as you're making your own decisions into, innovation, thinking about all these 3 different areas as your next key areas of development. I was supposed to actually provide a QR code, part of this presentation. I will, maybe later on. But I invite you to actually read this report if you are such kind of a person who's very interested in this. Business leaders, CEOs, and also aspiring young professionals as yourself. So, building information modeling is transforming the construction industry. My question to you is, are you ready? Are you ready? If you are, I want you to ask another follow-up rhetorical question. What is your new possible? So thank you for your time. And yeah, I know.
Okay, thank you so much, Kalis. Yes, I know you have spoken a lot of big words. but by and large, it is technology is changing everything. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome our CEO, Madam Joyce Shauri. Let's give her a hand.
Okay, good morning, everybody who is here, and those also who are listening to us online. Welcome to today, where we are talking about, what are we talking about today? Who can remember? Huh? Securing careers in a digitized and, in a digital world, all right? In a digitized AEC industry. Now, my role is just to tell you a little bit about Citech. Now, the real name for Citech is Center for Innovative Technology. Now, note that, innovative technology. But it is innovation and technology for the AEC industry, for the architectural, engineering, and construction industry. A little bit about our history. We created ourselves. We founded Citech way back in 2008. And the main reason why we created Citech is because there's always a conversation here in Kenya where we live that there's no work, all right? People go to school, they study engineering, they cannot find work, all right? And a lot of, if you go to our villages, a lot of young people sit idle with no futures, with no hope, all right? So we thought about it, my brother and I. My brother was an engineer. I was not an engineer. And we decided that we need to do something about it. There's a secret we had, my brother and I. We knew that it is possible to get somebody from high school, teach them how to produce engineering drawings, show them how to use the latest tools, and give them all the knowledge they need around that, and voila, they can actually work and find employment for themselves, all right? Or create their own businesses producing engineering drawings, okay? And also the difference we were making was we were training them on the latest digital technologies. So that is what we've been doing in Citech since 2008. We have impacted a lot of young people, and a lot of them are here with us. And it gives us a reason to be waking up every morning. We are passionate about the youth of Africa. Here in Citech, we have students from Sudan, we have students from Kenya, we have many students from Somalia. We love you guys. We've had students from Comoros, we've had students from Uganda, and we want to keep growing this so that we can transform Africa through technology, all right? So we invite you to keep listening in, because what next we are going to be talking about is, what do we actually do here at Citech, all right? So thank you very much. Yes.
Okay, let's clap for her. Okay, I want to introduce one more person before we continue. Our greatest resource here at Citech. His name is Mwalimu Wamwiga. Please stand and wave to us, Mwalimu. He's the magic. He is the magic of Citech. Yes, and without further ado, I want to introduce Engineer Bernard. Karibu.
So thank you very much, Madam Eileen. Thank you, everyone else, for accepting to our invite and showing up to this webinar of ours. So ideally, I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Bernard Gashasha. I'm a mechanical engineer trained in Russia. That's why most of you call me Russian. And I'm also pursuing, as we speak, civil engineering. I'm taking civil engineering at the Kenya Institute of Highways and Building Technologies. So that is something I hope to get under my belt very soon. I'm an Autodesk certified professional. That would be in AutoCAD, which I believe each and every one of you that is here is going to come across. I'm also a certified professional in Inventor. Inventor is more of a mechanical engineering software that is used in the plant and process industries. But for the purposes of today, we're going to deal mostly with AutoCAD as well as Revit, and basically what it is that we do in our basic and advanced courses here. So I'm going to start with a small video that is basically going to give an overview of what design is all about.
And the better our power to design solutions, the bigger the problems we can solve. The challenges we face today are complex and global. That's why one 3D software company focuses all its knowledge on creating tools with a single purpose: accelerating better design. From engines that drive industry, to vehicles that drive the imagination. From bridges that withstand earthquakes, to roller coasters that create. One company helps you design it all. Working in more efficient, sustainable ways, so you can see more clearly, connect ideas more simply, and design, simulate, and perfect every element before anything's ever built. Giving you the knowledge to move from what can be done to what should be done.
So that's basically just a small video to show you where we are coming from and basically how we intend to get the world to a place where it's going to be all bliss. So ideally, and I'm going to reference the last speaker who was here, which is Emmanuel. You heard him say that 2 out of 3 employers employ people that they have to later train in work. They employ people that don't have the necessary skills. As much as they have the papers, they have the educational background, they lack the technical skills to actually put down and output in their jobs. So that is where we come in as Citech, and we come to service 2 industries. That would be the structural industry as well as the services industry. So what our courses have, we have a course that is called the structural engineering drafting, or the building services drafting, and this is basically going to deal with the drawing and the detailing of both the structural elements of a building as well as the mechanical, all the services parts, the building services parts of a building. So what is the actual importance of having these skills, all right? So the skills are going to ensure that you have your precise, you can be able to output precise drawings that are going to be used by the people that are going to be on site, be it the contractors, be it the builders, if in that case, or in whatever engineering project that you have. You're going to need to put out whatever it is, the design intent the engineer needed, you need to put it out to the person who's going to actually implement, and they need to understand in absolute detail what it is that you mean. In engineering, we don't have any room for estimations or maybe unafikiria hapa kunafaa kwenda hivi. So this design intent should be communicated perfectly, and this boils down to how you actually do your drawing and detailing. So these would be your construction drawings, or in mechanical terms, which would be in the building services, your shop drawings. So the project efficiency also depends a lot on how you portray or how you convey this information of your building, right? So if your drawings or your details lack in any way, the person that is going to be running those installations, be it in the services, is going to have problems. And this is not what we want when you're dealing with projects that are actually timed, where you have very specific timelines and strict schedules to follow. So that increases a lot on the project efficiency. The other thing we have is the client satisfaction. When you output information that is as per the intents of the professionals, that would be your architects, your structural engineers, your service engineers, you actually get to deliver what the client really requires. And this works a lot to improve on the client's satisfaction, right? So what are some of the key principles and concepts that we have in the engineering drawing and detailing? So the first thing is the structural stability. I believe in the recent past, I think in the last, let's say 3 years or so, you've heard of very many buildings coming down. Something quite notorious actually in, I think, Kiambu County. Kiambu town and in the Kinoo constituencies. So this is something that is brought about by the communication of, or the miscommunication, if I may say, the miscommunication of design. Whatever is on paper, whatever is intended to go on site, doesn't go to site. That is because what was delivered, all the drawings that were put out by myself and probably some of you that are going to get into the industry, do not meet the standards that are supposed to be met, right? And that misinformation leads to those discrepancies. Something else that we look to bridge as we look to give the market the skills that are actually required is ensuring that whatever we do, the material properties of the elements that we give, the detailing which comes in, right? So if you have a detail, the engineer has said you need to put on a slab, you have the loadings, you have the reinforcement that you're supposed to do, and then you decide that, well, I think I'm also an engineer, and you do your own things, the materials are going to fall or are going to give in, and this is going to lead to very, very grievous problems. So the next thing is the drawing standards, and the drawing standards is basically what we try to give you as people who aspire to be in the engineering space, or people who are actually even in the engineering space. This is not only for aspiring engineers, this is even for engineers that are actually in the field right now. So with that, I want to show you another small video.
Revit 2023
That
makes
is,
it easier for you to curate.
So I'm just going to mute the sound. It's the sound is not important. This is basically just a view of what you expect to learn. When you look at a building, as a layman, as anybody else, looking at a building, your building is going to be all aesthetic, all marble or glass or whatever it is, or what material is, but what goes in to the building to make the building actually sustainable and strong, to stand and withstand all the forces and loads that it's going to have, is the people who do the structural details, right? So these details miscommunicated may cause very, very, well, may cause even the buildings to collapse. So learning how to actually present this and represent it in a way that is correct and accurate is one of the best skills that an engineer can have in this world. And this, as I said, this is not only for engineers, this is something that is applicable to anybody and everybody that is in the build industry. And the build industry in this case, so for this particular video, this was structural, but this actually happens the same way as you would in the building services. So so that was part of the structural detailing and what we do. So if you look around, actually, we have some of these things. And these you learn from our mwalimu who waved at you. He has, I believe, 40 plus years in this industry. So ideally, he's a moving library. So I doubt there's any way you would get better insights than you would from our mwalimu here that would allow you to be employable in the current market. So into now the services industry. So in the services industry, this is where we have our mechanical engineers, our electrical engineers that decide to venture into the building services industry. In the building services industry, who has an idea what the building services industry entails? Anybody? What are the services? Yes, sir?
The services that this is where we have the mechanical and electrical.
Yes.
We can also have another line for the data. The data comprises about the CCTV, the cameras, and the Wi-Fi.
Exactly, and the networks, the internet, and whatever. Yes. So thanks a lot, sir. So HVAC. So yeah, HVAC, that would be the heating, ventilation.
Again, in the services,
Yes.
we have you can classify into two.
Sorry?
Whereby into two,
Yeah.
whereby electrical can run separate, the mechanical also run separate.
Yes.
Mechanical, this is whereby you go do the entire plumbing. Then, when it comes to especially the buildings like this, we have the fire extinguisher sector.
Yes.
You see, with the alarm setup again on the other side.
Yes. So, exactly. So in the building services, as we were described there, so the building industry is basically what makes a building function, right? So the services are going to be run there. The electricity, the water, the wastewater, right? If you're going to have CCTV, everything that is complementary to that building falls under your building services. And this is something that we provide for you. We train and give you resources and in this case also sell the software, but that is beside the point for today. So with this, it helps you understand the utility distribution, right? So if you're doing your electricals, what are the best practices in that? And this is going to be divided into two bases for us. We have an electrical part and we have a mechanical part. So the mechanical part is going to encompass the plumbing, HVAC, your ducting, and then of course the electrical part goes with the electrical fittings that you're going to have. So this helps you, the better you understand some of these principles, it's going to allow you to do better space optimization, right? So like, for example, in this case, we're in a room seated, about 40 of us, and we have, of course, the ones who are online. But the ones that we see here, this room should be optimized for, maybe it's a meeting room. If the building is built out as a meeting room, it should be optimized for the people that are going to sit there so that they feel comfortable. The air circulation is supposed to be sufficient. If you're supposed to have machines, you're supposed to get enough power. So all these are considerations that you need to do when you're doing your building services. And once that is designed by the engineer, there's a presentation that you now need to put out to the contractors on site, right? So that detailing is very, very important that comes in. So the good thing about doing things right is that it's always going to increase the sustainability of your assets. In this case, in a building, you're going to have electricity, well, like fires, if you overload your sockets and everything. So the sustainability aspect of it is going to be top-notch. You don't have to drill other windows because you thought a meeting of 40 people requires 2 windows. So that helps you plan, which makes you deliver projects that are actually up to par with the intentions of what you need to do with the buildings. So in the pursuit of doing all that, after you learn the principles, as you can see on our board, you're going to learn some of the basic principles. And as Emmanuel said, we are trying to move away from actually doing things with our hands. And this is something that has been in the industry for quite a while. And for this, we train on 2 very basic softwares that allow you to be able to deliver these sort of high quality detailed drawings to your employers. And the first one is AutoCAD. So AutoCAD, I believe everybody has come across AutoCAD, or those of you that have not come across AutoCAD. AutoCAD is a 2D tool that helps you draw, draft, as well as detail any engineering projects that you have, right? And this comes as part of our offerings when you take any of our courses, which would be in the structural space. We have basic drawing or basic drafting. We also have advanced drafting, and we have drawing and detailing, right? So these courses take between 3 and 4 months, depending on the module that you're having. And within those courses, you're going to take AutoCAD. You're also going to take Revit. If you're going to be in the structural space, you're going to learn Revit structure, Revit architecture for about 2 or 3 days. This comes as a free add-on onto our basic classes, as well as Revit in our advanced classes, right? So on the building services part, you also take AutoCAD, of course, because AutoCAD is general along all industries. And then there's Revit that you're going to take. And this, of course, starts with an understanding of how Revit works. So building up the model in Revit architecture for about 2 or 3 days. And then you take a 5-day course on Revit electrical. That is if you're in the electrical space of the services, or you're going to take Revit mechanical and plumbing if you're in the mechanical space. So these come as additions onto our courses that you're going to be having, right? So just to have the 3 of them there. So we have the best practices that we need to employ, right, in giving out the information or giving out the drawings that we have, all the information, how we portray or how we give out the information that we have in a correct manner and precisely, right? So this comes in through thorough planning, and that is as much as It's something that is supposed to be, it's something that can be taught. Our trainers are going to take you through how to probably plan and go through your work all the way from the beginning, right? If you have any architectural knowledge, all the way from the conceptualization to the detailing, right? We have the constant review, which we have go through our trainers. Whatever you do at every stage is going to get vetted by any of our trainers, myself included, and Mwalimu there, to ensure that you're running your course in the correct way, right? So we don't wait for you at the end of the course to tell you that hapo ulikosea. And majorly this is because we don't have exams, right? Our main aim is to handhold you through the whole process to ensure that you get this process the right way, right? So it gives you the best edge. So you don't get to learn this so that you can pass your exams, which is something most of us do who are in school. At times unasoma tu upite mtihani, but for us here, to give you that knowledge, to empower you to actually have an impact in the world, right? The hands-on, that hands-on, literally hands-on, like you need to move from this point to this point to this point. You're going to get handheld by our trainers to get you to that point. So the role of drafting, right? And in this case, we're giving you what does drafting do for you, right? First of all, there's the interdisciplinary coordination. It allows you to understand how your services, how the work that you give out affect the people around you, all the other specialties in the project, right? How your columns, how your slabs, how everything that you do as a structural guy will sort of interfere or interlink with what the building services engineers are doing, right? So this allows you to be able to do design adaptations. If you have your, maybe your door, all right, going through just below a column, which is not possible, you need to know how you're going to work that out with those collaborations, with at least the knowledge that you'll have learned to realize that this cannot happen, and if that was to happen, then you'd be able to point it out as something that is not the correct way to do it. The next thing is document management, and this is basically now in the detailing part of everything, right? When you have your drawings and you've put out, you might understand your drawing, but if it is given to somebody else, are they going to understand? Are you actually putting out the standard way of doing this, right? And that leads me to, once you have all that, and as I said, it's a growing industry, there's still a lot that we're going to see out there and that we need to prepare out for. And in this case, we have our future trends that you're going to probably learn, or maybe with us, or in the future come to find out about. We have the digital visualizations, and these, as you know, we already have options of building our models in Revit, right? We also are able to do things that are called walkthroughs. You can basically walk through your drawing, your virtual digital twin, way before it is actually even constructed. You can be able to actually see how your building is going to interact with the environment that it is built into, right? Long before it is built, right? This also brings up the option of automation, and automation is slowly and but definitely catching up with the construction industry. And with automation, it's where you're going to have things like generative design, right? Where you need to see what is the best iteration that I can have for the space that I have to be able to output the best product that we have out there, right? And of course, in this day and age, the environmental integration is something that we cannot forget. We have very limited resources in this all of us that are running out. We need to make the best use of them and, of course, save them for everything. And so, before I think I play my next slide and ask for any questions. It's my second last slide. So
Can I just say something?
Sure.
So basically, for the sake of those people who have probably left high school, or you're probably doing other careers, and we are here speaking about careers in structures, in engineering, in architecture, in mechanical building services. What I just wanted to say is that here in Citech, we train you, we give you the skills, we give you the knowledge, and our training is very hands-on, okay? You see, there's a real gap between academia and the world of work. So what we do at Citech, we close that gap. If you're a graduate engineer or you are an undergraduate, we encourage you to come here, because training with us at Citech, you actually get to learn what the demands, the practices of the industry, the technologies they are using, the standards they are using. Right now we are designing using the Eurocode, okay? All right? In school you are probably learning the old British code of I don't know how long, all right? So here you come and you are equipped, yeah, with everything you need to start being productive in the building and construction industry. That is to say, if you're interested in structures, okay, we teach you, if you are straight from high school, we teach you basic technical drawing, and then after that, we take you through a program where you specialize on how to produce structural drawings and details, all right? And we also give you some theory so that you have an understanding of the thinking behind the drawings. Now, drawings are very crucial. You cannot build or construct anything without a drawing. That is why Bernard was going into details of you know, what quality drawings are and all those things he talked about. Drawings are so crucial, all right? And with the skills of drawing, there's so much you can do for yourself. You can either work in the industry as a CAD, computer or BIM technician, all right, where you become like a draftsman. We also call it draftsman, okay? You can work as a draftsman, or a high-tech detailer, okay, using the latest technologies and tools, okay? So you can do that. We do that. The program takes about, if you're straight from high school, it will take you about 9 months. If you've already done a degree or you have a diploma in building, or you've done civil engineering, the program will take you about 4 months, all right? It's very hands-on, okay? Not a lot of theories, all right? You focus and you become an expert in drawing and interpreting structural drawings. We do the same with building services, and this is a very new program, and there is no other such program in this country, okay? So what we do is, if you're a mechanical engineer or you have a TVET, you're from a technical institute and you've done mechanical building, you've studied buildings, or maybe some mechanical course, plumbing, HVAC, you can actually come here, and in a short period of about 5 months, yeah, we can train you to be an expert in producing mechanical building services, drawings and details. And we train you on the latest softwares. You learn on AutoCAD, you learn how to produce your drawings and details in AutoCAD, and then you also learn how to do your drawings and details in Revit. And we are always open to technologies. That's why we call ourselves Center for Innovative Technology. So we always keep up with the latest technologies, all right? So you can come here, and I can guarantee you that you'll be trained and you'll be ahead of your peers, okay? All right, and you are trained by real professionals, okay? Yes, our old gentleman, Mr. Wamuiga, Akal said she's our gold, he's our gold, he's our treasure. With over 40 years, okay? Working as a CAD expert, okay, in the building industry. You know KICC? Yeah, he was part of the team that designed that, yeah? All right? Also Barclays Plaza, he was part of the team that did that. Intercourt? Huh? Kenya Commercial Bank, he was part of the team. Chester House. All right? He was part of the team that produced the construction drawings. And the people who are masters with the drawings are also the people who go on site to ensure that what is being constructed is as per drawings. Okay? Now, building services. There's a big demand in this country and in Africa. You know, every time a building is put up, it has to be serviced. Okay? You can imagine like now the electrical wires for lighting and for your gadgets, yeah? Imagine how much time it takes to design that for every room in a building, okay? So, you come here, we will teach you, we can develop you if you're from electrical background or if that's your interest, okay? You come to Citech and in a period of about 5 months, you have the basic training in electrical engineering, maybe at diploma or degree level, you can become a specialized building services MEP, either electrical or mechanical, okay? All right, yes. And this is the only institute, I think, in the region that I know of. There are some institutes similar to ours where we just focus on equipping people with the skills that are needed to produce engineering drawings. Remember the presentation by Emmanuel earlier on? Yeah? You even saw cars, you know, even to design a car, you need drawings, okay? Yeah? To design an animation, let's say a cartoon series, yeah? It's all the kind of skills we provide here, okay? So I hope that helps those of you who are not from the engineering world, okay? I hope it has helped you break it down a little bit, okay? Thank you.
Yes, before we go to the next slide.
Yes, sir.
Some few questions.
Sure.
Yeah, my name is George Varia.
Yes, Manager George.
Yes. You have talked about the detailing of the project.
Yes.
But you can be given all the drawings with the details according to the structural engineer's design.
Yes.
For example, the way we have some architectures, engineers are also among us.
Yes.
But I wanted to put a question across that how will you be able to integrate a project if you're given a project, for instance, in Kiambu County? Because I see people talking about Kiambu counties. Buildings are falling down. To me, I am well convinced that the buildings are falling down because there's some negligence on, not even on contractor or engineers.
Yes.
We are doing a great commission on a line of engineering, because engineering is too wide. We have geotechnical engineering. You will not be able to calculate the bearing capacity of the building where we are standing if you have not done geotech services. Because I think from the geotech services, that is why they're supposed to be given the bearing load and then the number of steel that is supposed to be used in that. And that one comes as a result of the composition of the soil. Because a structural engineer will decide that we need to excavate like almost 10 meters for us to give the stability of the rock. But if I'm a client, I'm refused that let us do it up to 8. Even if you're a structural engineer, you are given the chances of the building to collapse is very high. Because as you continue every day in life, you have weathering taking place. Even if you can excavate this building where we are standing from right now, you'll get that the basis of this building has tried to move slightly.
They've settled.
So how will you be able to integrate that AutoCAD software, the one for the geotechnical software, so that if you give the details, as a smart contractor or engineer, I will be able to discover that apart from whatever engineer has given me, I can also be able to do this.
Okay.
Second to that, because this question was supposed to go to the first speaker, but unfortunately has gone on.
It's okay. I'll see if I have the
We are talking about the sustainability of the project. knowledge acquisition, that is already, that is we acquire knowledge, that is very good, and the business is resilient, yeah. So my major concern is about the sustainability. When you go to the AutoCAD and Revit, in Revit, sorry, in AutoCAD there's a lot, because there's a pro structure, is also there, I don't know if it's called in AutoCAD. Yes. We have the Procore system. Because you know the softwares are very many. Because nowadays most of the engineers, I've seen that they don't want to use the AutoCAD capacity of this beam. You simply take the figures and the measurement, you put the system, they will give the where the center of the concentration will be. But when now comes the sustainability,
He's here, he can answer.
oh, you are here.
Can I answer mine and then he's going to answer that one?
Yes. So, in this AutoCAD, do you have a software specifically that will enable the contractor to finish the work within the stipulated time? See? Yeah. Because there's so many things that might come as a result of making a project to delay. Or how will a contractor, after seeing the old drawing, using a system or using a software, how will I be able to integrate the drawing from the architect and structural, mechanical, all of them with my plan, so that I can be able to finish the building within a period of time. Yes.
So I'll start with the one that was addressed to me, basically in regards to the presentation that I just had. And this was the question where we cannot entirely put I'll answer as you go. We cannot entirely put the blame on the engineers. And this is partly true and partly untrue. Because for the structural engineer to be able to actually design even the foundation for a building that is not going to sink or settle, they're supposed to make those decisions through informed geotechnological studies from the geotech experts, right? It's the same way that I cannot design a building, however sane or safe that building is going to be. I cannot take a building that was designed to probably be constructed at this point that we are, and then decide I'm just going to take these drawings and these details and go do the same in Nanyuki, right? The soil bearing capabilities are not the same. With informed geological studies, the engineer can be able to decide the type of foundation that I'm going to need. Am I going to need piles? Am I going to need some pads, rafts, and all that information? But if, as an engineer, structural engineer, I go straight into actually doing the design of the foundation without that geotechnological information, or that geotech analysis, the soil structures, the soil bearing capacity, then partly that goes to blame, the part of the blame goes to the engineer, because he did the designs, the foundations, without the prerequisite information that is needed for him to actually design a stable and capable foundation. So as much as we say engineers are not to blame, the contractors are also to blame. You cannot decide that I had a client who decided to build a house in Westlands. He had the plans. He actually did the house in Westlands, and it's very okay, it's stable. You take the same plans and want to duplicate that at another point. The building at the other point might fail. The chances of the other building failing are very high because the soils are different and the capabilities that the loads are going to be carried through to the soil are different. So it all depends on how strictly we follow the codes and the building regulations that are set up, right? The designs that you're going to get are going to be specific to a particular geographical location. They're all going to be applicable to any other place. So that, I think, sort of gives some light onto it. Yes, Madam Joyce? Finish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I just also wanted to say, you know, this issue of houses collapsing in Kenya and substandard buildings, it's a big issue. I think we can create a whole conference to discuss it. And the reasons are many. And I think the main issue is that people do not want to follow the laid down guidelines, you know, the laws, the codes, the building codes. And people don't also want to use engineers. Okay? Me, I know in my village, the rich man will go and ask for an exercise book, get his hundi, they come and draw a building, they build it without the supervision of an engineer. We have laws and regulations, and that's why we have registered engineers in this country. I know some of you are going to be professional engineers. Some of you are going to be rich property owners and developers. Do not do any project taking shortcuts. Ensure your project, you have a structural engineer, okay, designing your project. Use professionals, okay? All right, that's the biggest challenge we have. And also to let you know, my good friend, that there are, okay, AutoCAD is just, it's a drawing tool, okay? It's like your digital drawing board, all right? There are tools for everything. There are tools for structural analysis. There are tools for geotechnical analysis and design. There are tools for project coordination, and he's a great expert in all of those, all right? There are very many tools, okay? And even without the tools, an engineer can use his knowledge and calculations to design, okay? That's what they are trained in. So please, Africa, Kenyans, let's use professionals, huh? Okay? Now, the people who train here, we train them to work under engineers, okay? They don't design, okay? We focus on the engineering communication, all right? And we also train them on the building codes and the rules and regulations, okay? Let an engineer manage your project, all right? Yes, because if anything happens, then you know who is accountable, okay?
What was the question? Somebody asked me about, asked for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Has your question been
My
answered?
question, yeah, some of them have been answered.
Which one hasn't?
That you talked about three things for the first time, the state of design and back in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Then from there, we talk about the business resilience, sustainability, and all the decisions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my question was coming to number 2, sustainability. Because everyone here is regarding himself become somehow great in future. So according to the software, is there a way how you can make it a way by, because nowadays you get somebody has done structural engineering, building that construction. But on the other side, you see that he has gone under training. So I myself have been here. I don't know if you can. I was there several years back. I've learned in this school. So, is there a way that you can integrate or you can match a software like now, a MS project, with the one you have in the current AutoCAD?
Right.
Yes.
Collaboration.
Yes.
So,
Because MS project is majorly required to
Okay.
plan
okay.
how the project shall supposed to run.
Okay, okay. So as you prepare yourselves for success, or maybe moving to a particular technology or a platform, there's always some things that are in your mind, questions that you ask yourself, what you actually stand to gain from it. There's always the reason as to why you are upgrading from an old phone to a newer one, because probably it has a lot more features that the older version doesn't have, correct? Am I correct? So, and it's just the same for every organization that is moving towards a particular technology, or maybe if you are as an individual, you're moving towards, you're working on a project and you have specific sets of capabilities that you need to have. You have an idea of what is the outcome out of it. So when you're talking about outcome, it's the simplest term I can define an outcome is a tangible business result. A tangible business result that you want to achieve with just about anything. An outcome could be being able to it could be something to do like improving collaboration, for example, or reducing risk, or it could be reducing your costs. Now, I'd like to talk about the technology because that's where I am from. that's what I do. But the answer, the short answer to your question is yes. We have multiple platforms that you can integrate your scheduling, your preferred scheduling tool with many of our construction management solutions. For example, the fact that you can now make available your schedule to just about everybody in your field in the construction to have an access to the plan. They can also make suggestions to it and have like a centralized system where the time scheduler can actually make the required changes. And at the back end, having that, having the solution being able to provide some forecasts as to, what is the exact delay, this is the proposed changes, how will it impact the project moving forward in terms of from a cost change point of view. So the answer to that is yes. Now, it's important that you first, I think we need to have a discussion about what outcomes that you want to have, and I think that's a discussion that you can definitely hold with either myself or with the Citech team. What are your tangible, what do you want the software to do? And then let us design a solution for you, and then let's look at the return of investment, because it is one thing to just say AutoCAD can do everything. But there's another different discussion to say that I want to be able to collaborate, or I want to be able to produce 3D model. That is more of like an outcome. So you're not really moving into the technology per se. I want to really listen to what are your tangible business results. Yeah.
And your question will be further answered in the next presentation.
Okay.
So yeah, I can talk about the technology because we have a lot of it, but the answer is yes. But let me first figure out what you want, and then now we can delve a little bit more on the technicalities. So.
All right, let's give Engineer Bernard a round of applause. Thank you so much. I just want to give a shout out to our online presence. We have people from Kigali, we have people from Mombasa, we have people from Nairobi, yes. We have people from Kitengela. You are all welcome. Please feel welcome. As Engineer Bernard plays his last slide, we will usher in Jerry, who will take us through the next presentation.
So actually my last slide is a video from Elaine. So just as a conclusion,
Our website www.citech.co.ke, or please call us, or please visit us at First Floor Public House, Westlands. We are waiting for you.
Jerry. Connect.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, so while technology moves one, can you give me the bug? Can you hear me the bug? so let me do that. Hi, my name is Jerry Wanjohi. My presentation is more of a walkthrough through the whole process, yeah? So I am, I'd like to say I'm an alumni of Citech, yeah? I'm also part of the process. From Citech, I actually learned a lot. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, mic. Yeah. So, anyway, I wanted to showcase some of the things that I've done, the projects. There are some small aspects that are really the only way I would have achieved them is through the knowledge that Citech imparted. I'm more of the architect side and structural and the beam side of things. Yeah, I'm more of a generalist, if anything. So I have wings, my fingers attached through the process here from the drafting part all the way. I want to showcase basically it will piggyback on what everyone has said. It's not planned or anything, but from Kalist, what he has said, Mr. Minder, all the way to what Kabenas presented, and the questions that you have. What I have here, or what I was going to present, touches on all of those industries, yeah? From the quality of the drawing, inspection, management, the whole aspect. We'll start from drafting. Mine is to show you the linear path, that is the beam process, yeah? So it should be fairly straightforward. Maybe that's a bit hopefully. So anyway, while it's getting done,
maybe tell us a little about yourself as we're waiting for that.
yes. Alright, so let me tell you more.
Everything.
Okay, so I'll keep it I'll give you the brief, the juicy part. So once again, when I came to Citech,
Your name?
Oh, I started. So, my name is Jerry Wanjohi once again. For all of me here, Jerry Wanjohi. I am a product of Citech. I've been here for a good while, very good while. When I was a student doing the draft work, when I discovered the software on Bonani User, they used to chase me up because I loved the software aspect of construction. It was amazing that he could design a whole structure as a singular person and detail and produce a working drawing and all the aspects of it from one person or from a very small team of people. So that is what drove me through the years in construction, and I loved it, love it still. So the idea is, oh nice, yeah. Missing sina picture nimevaa suti. But I'll just go quickly, yeah. Don't see you. So mine is this project. This is the reason it's here. This is the first project I did immediately after leaving Citech. So this was the first. It was huge. It was a big project. It's the Agricultural Hospital. I don't want to go too much into detail, but that was the first project. So I'm there. So to help you quickly. So this project, the reason I show it is because in this project, it's touched on almost the whole BIM process. On one single project, we went from everything, all the steps of it, yeah? And this is my introduction to you. This is Jerry Wanjohi, basically, yeah? Although in a hospitality. But this is what I did the first time in Kitoga Citech. And the idea was, it was a recommendation, yeah? So there's this guy, And this is where that came from. So from this also came the management part. Yeah, I'll show you later on how the whole aspect of it works. Mr. Maenda has touched on it, engineer, and engineer Bernard. They've both touched on the quality of drawings, yeah? At one point, I trained on a bunch of other softwares. Let me malizie a biopic. So we just finish on who I am and then continue on that. So, I train softwares as well. So, I trained for Citech. I was a student, I think like Mr. Maenda, I was a student, and then I became what? An engineer, and then trained. So I was an ex-employee of Citech as well. So I trained some softwares as well, basically based on my experiences. So these are some of them. Right? I say some because, as you can see, most of these are Autodesk software. But yeah, I trained on some of them for Citech, and it's quite fun. I'll say fun because I don't know if engineering can be categorized as fun, but these softwares do make it fun, genuinely. So yeah, I think that'll be the end of that biopic. So this is just a simple presentation of just a touch of the little work that may happen over the years. Yeah, so I'll just run through them if the machine allows. Oh, the lag is real. So from Citech, a lot came, and a lot of opportunities. So this was another hospital. We did a small project there, a renovation, the Lions Hospital in Westlands. So there are small bits and bobs, and I also have this page. So these are just some projects they're not really projects to utilize. These are, I want to explain maybe a bit later on what this page is for. I call it prototypes or concept because I think Mr. Maenda has touched on something very important. Yeah, this technology, as much as we encourage you to use, it keeps growing and it enlarges. Yeah, every now and then something is updated, so there's something in the previous years that couldn't exist. So for you to keep up, you have to practice, and part of that is making projects. Yeah, because how else are you going to practice? Yeah, so we'll touch on that a bit later on. For now, basically that's who I am. I'm a trainer, I'm an engineer overall, and I'm a person who loves questions, yeah? Because our industry demands so. Now, pretty much, I think let me end on that in terms of biopic. I'll pick up with something fairly easy. Now, I want to showcase, or I want to simply show you the whole process. Okay, the process that we can go, ideally from where you are right now. We have some students who have done the drawing part. So we can start from a base point and work our way to the very top or to the very end. Yeah? Because there have been questions, so what do I do next? After do I just live and die for AutoCAD? What do I do next? Those are some of the questions I've encountered over the years. There's a time a student I met aliniuliza mbona kuniambia AutoCAD inakuwa ngumu visa zingine. So we met outside and akaniambia hakuniambia vitu zingine zinakuwa advanced sana, and I was like, okay. So there's a question about AutoCAD and how AutoCAD is utilized. Yeah, maybe I'll answer that when I get immediately after, because what I want to address these softwares that we see here, they are not pages on a book. These things can change, and you personally have the ability to modify and make them yours in a way that it can improve your work. So I'll touch on that a bit because it can get complicated very, very fast. So I'll start from basics, from the ground up. We have this. I want to do PowerPoint. I'll show you the softwares and how they are. Hopefully, I won't take long. I don't want to take too long, but I'll go through the whole slew of softwares. I have them tabulated down here, the ones that are primarily going to cater for that. So for one, we have Formit. So this Formit, it's a very simple software to learn. Now, simple is relative. I have come to learn that over the years. Nasemaga simple and then classic isha kuna mtu ameelewa. So, but it is simple as it is. This is a simple software. The reason you see this is because from this Formit tool, we can import the site, the map, we block. We use it just for blocking. Nika kuchorana sketches. It's a simple software. We use it for blocking. After you've blocked, basically, I'll cover AutoCAD in a second. We'll take it to Revit. So Revit, this is the first software that I learned in the construction industry. Revit is a special tool. Now, please, nikiendelea, if you have any questions, yeah, questions are important. So if you have any questions, please jot them down. I'll be willing to answer them. So, sir, on any of the softwares I touch, any other software that you not feel like you have a question on. So this is Revit. Ideally, ukitoka Formit, modeling clay, your sketches, blocking, there is another software for it, but maybe that's for later. So from Formit to go to Revit. Revit is a tool that I'd encourage, to learn. It's a bit advanced. It's very fun. I was telling some students earlier today. It's the kind of software that ukitumia ni ngumu, but the minute in a click, everything just flows. Ushifurahi, unafinya tu button inawaka, and then you just smile. So this is that kind of a software. The reason being, with Revit you have like 3 or 4 industries in one software. So you have architecture, structure, steel, amongst others. It becomes a versatile tool. If you're a structural engineer especially, you do 3D modeling. AutoCAD is mainly 2-dimensional. That's a complaint. There's a tool, maybe I'll share you. I don't know if this is the right place, but there are some things you can do to AutoCAD to make it a robust software or easy to use, better words. But Revit does that. 3D modeling, you take from an architect's perspective. Yeah? So what happens with Revit, we can combine all the industries. So architect akishachora, you don't need to transfer. You mentioned Procon. So we have the conversion of files to Revit to Procon. I'm Autodesk, give AutoCAD. So with this, the beauty is, because you have all of them in one software, you don't need to dance in between softwares. Yeah, you go from one architecture, you link your structure, you link your HVAC, your mechanical, everything. You can link all of them in one drawing. And then later on you can see the clash. Yeah, we talked about drawing quality. The minute unazicombine, unaweza pata clashes. Column ya umse ina clash na pipe ya whoever. Ama mlango vile Kabenal kunasema. The door sijui imeingia kwa column gani. We can monitor all of that, and not to scare you, but you can actually address it to someone. With a software called Navisworks, that comes immediately after Revit. So immediately after Revit, you have a project. Now Revit is a pretty heavy software. We usually say Caesar machine is auto, so. But it's heavy. So if you're planning to use it, this is just a by the way. Get a machine, like an actual machine. Hii inaweza ua. So you have it. This is 2024. This is just another, by the way. No one uses Revit, the latest model, the absolute latest. It has you can't backdate it. Ukitumia 2024 inamaanisha kila mtu atumia 2024 kwa crew. So your structure atumia 24, so there's like a certain headache that comes with it. But it's a beauty of a program. Okay, let me move on before it gets weird. So, what we have, Revit can do so many things. Let me go to the next software and then I'll double back based on any showcases I want to show. So from Revit, I want to take your attention to a simple software. Now, this is actually simple. It's not relative. This software is called Navisworks. So what happens, you come from sketching to detailing to 3D modeling about it. If you're an architect, renders, Navisworks, I'll show you that. And then from all of that, you come to Navisworks. Now this Navisworks, this is more of a management software. We don't draw in Navisworks. Here, we do quality check. Quality check na maanisha, all these colors that you see here, all of them, this beautiful spectrum, this shows collisions. So if a slab is colliding with a column is colliding with a window, any one of those. So the beauty is, with these two, what can happen, we can do what we call clashes. It's paramount because with clashes, it was talked about, yeah? Both engineers have talked about quality control. So quality control, with Navisworks you can say, we do about a clash, and then you address that clash to a specific person. So sir, engineer, your engineer kita come up, they report kijoka, engineer kina kuwa hapo jipap. So this questions the responsibility. Ama kuna wagana hiyo debate in between. Nani aleka kona? Oh, ni team. When you start subcontracting, so with this we can question any works surrendered. So this will guarantee the quality of work. So kichora ama kitumia model ingine give us all the details about whatever's going on and who did what. Yeah. So that's just the basic flow. Those are like those are 4 softwares. These are 4 softwares. We start from forming, but that's mainly for architects. If you're a structural engineer, we can address AutoCAD and Revit. So for structural engineers or mechanical engineers, these two are your main culprits, yeah? So the tools you're going to use are AutoCAD and Revit. Revit is quite straightforward. So Revit, the beauty about it, and what I loved about it, we can do detail work, yeah? We can do drafting in Revit. After drafting, you can do 3D modeling. I know that's a headache. Because kichora 2D sections and then you have to convert to elevations. The beauty with Revit, kila wall unachora, whatever you place appears in 3D as well. So it's quite a nice tool. We've got Nongapo King. Very direct, very powerful tool. Maybe I can show its power later on. But you can do so much with it. Yeah. So AutoCAD and Revit, maybe now can be a good time to address what AutoCAD has to offer. Most of you have done AutoCAD, yeah? By a show of hands. AutoCAD was done. Yeah, so, Scitech Advanced AutoCAD. Have you ever heard of the term Advanced AutoCAD? AutoCAD. So AutoCAD has a few layers in it. So maybe one way, I'll just off the bat answer one of the questions. We can, I don't know if you're aware of, so this will just answer one question I had while I was sitting there. Under AutoCAD we have this part, this action recorder and customization part, yeah. So, so, with all of this, AutoCAD can be used to automate. Yeah, I had a question. So we can automate some steps in AutoCAD. Now, it's a very simple software, as you're aware. It can get complicated once you get big, but most of the things that you have can be automated. If it's a repetitive process, you can record to, and you can automate all of that. So basically, during our advanced courses, you can engage in such a thing. Yeah. Besides all of that, there are some add-ons. Maybe that's another thing we can discuss. Before you ever, this is just by the way, an advice. Always ask the questions, yeah? Anytime you're going to learn, like if you're going to learn AutoCAD for the first time, for those who have not, ask the questions. Why? The questions you ask will make the software more modified to your needs, yeah? The trainer doesn't know your workflow. So, always ask questions. Anytime you're going to learn any software, it's very paramount and it's very, very important. So, kama hiyo swali, if you're learning AutoCAD, if you'd have asked such a question, I think your trainer would be, or your teacher should be able to answer such a question. So during one of our advanced courses of AutoCAD, that's something you can explore, how to automate AutoCAD. Yeah. Sometimes this software is unavoidable. Revit is powerful, but there's a project we were doing. Just a few days ago, I got assigned. Yeah, the icon. You know the Nairobi's icon, building, and you go up a hill, the 88. Yeah. So when I went there, their whole project was done in AutoCAD. So all of it was done in AutoCAD, and it was strange for a minute because it's such a big project. Yeah. And there are no 3D drawings of it. They did it in two-dimensional data. So acquiring information from it and modifying it is a bit tricky for them. So that's one of the reasons bado jamaliza kujenga parallel. So because in some situations you can't avoid AutoCAD. Yeah, as much as it gets complex, you can't avoid it. There are a few ways to just make your life that bit easier. Maybe during one of the courses I can show you that if the question is asked. But yeah, so it's quite a linear path from Formit all the way to Navisworks. I've tried to just brief it up as much as I can without giving too little information or too much. Yeah. So it's quite simple. Maybe just some small bits and bobs here. I also had, based on I think Engineer Kabena's presentation, we can also do such a thing. So this looks weird. So this table of information that you see here, this is a software called Insight. So with this, Kabena mentioned about kukadirisha mbili kwa room iko na watu 40. It's quite weird. So we can actually analyze energy consumption in rooms. Yeah. So you can say how much light is needed, how much steam in a cooler, whatever. So this Insight gives you such a sheet, and it can give you the kilowattage per year, per month, and so on and so on. It's a detailed software. It's very simple. Hiyo ukisoma ni siku moja. Yeah. So Insight can give you a lot of information, or pun intended, it can give you a lot of insight about your building. Yeah. So the ability to analyze before you create can give you an edge. Yeah. Yes. I think I've tried to answer one or two questions I've had, but if there are any questions lingering, I've just covered a few softwares. So Insight is it's a nice tool. Before you make need, you can use Insight to analyze energy consumption and so on and so on. So we have a few that can do that. We have Insight and Forma. Those are one-day software. Unakaa chini hivi before unamaliza lunch, you know, and then you practice. So with such a software, it can give you so much information for a very light tool, and it can give you per the year annual report. Itakula moto inakaje, how much energy needs to cool the room, and so on and so on. So with Forma, actually what you can do, you can also analyze noise. So kama unajenga nyumba place ka West Side, it can analyze how much noise pollution, hell, light inafika wapi. If you were to model your building, with Forma you can actually analyze how far that light goes, and then you know where you're putting extra lights or windows, up to guys. Those are softwares which are 1 day or 3 days, you know, and they're very easy to use. Yeah. So those are just some of the tools, or the linear path, that is the BIM process. Maybe when I say the BIM process, most of the students I've taught always assume BIM is Revit. Yeah. So BIM is a process. There are softwares which belong there. So each one of them, the way I've presented them, there's a where they sit on that process. What comes first, what comes last, and what is something that can be used in between. Yeah. So that's the linear path, as brief as possible. Yes.
Yes, in a construction process,
yeah.
According to what you explained, that's well understood. But is there a way how we can, for example, for instance,
yeah.
here we are sitting with the different people from different backgrounds and faculties.
Yes.
Where the architects here and the rest.
Mm-hmm.
My question is,
Yeah.
I've been given an opportunity to work in your firm
Yeah.
as a survey engineer.
Yes.
Is there a way whereby I got a drawing from my sister,
Yeah.
who is an architect? She has given me that. I take the drawing to the contractor. The contractor interprets whatever she has given out to the actual work. I, as a surveyor,
Yeah.
engineer, I will be incorporated whereby I'm supposed to come with my tools, equipment, instruments.
Yeah.
This one will come with a damping level. I'll be using the theodolites. I will come with the measurements and the measuring wheel. So is there a way whereby before carrying my instrument, I can incorporate my software or the instrument in the software?
The instruments with the software.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a slew of other advantages for surveyors and the whole site information. We have something called we have a tool called Civil 3D. Yeah? Does very well with site analysis and information gathering. So if your system, if the engineer is using some other tool, so one of the challenges in the industry is exactly that conversion process. You convert from this to this, you might lose the information. So on an ideal world, if she's an architect, maybe Revit or AutoCAD in an ideal world. If not, there are some other tools, but there's usually this IFC standard where you can convert. Yeah. So this is there's a file called IFC. So if they're using any other tool that you are not using, the Autodesk suite, because it's Autodesk, it allows for interoperability. So if they're not using and you're not using the same or Autodesk tools, you'll have to convert. And during that process, you would use the IFC to convert that to whatever software you're using. So you convert that file and you use it. That would be the easiest way or yeah. So that's part of that process. And it should be taught. Yeah? Why? Because during such a situation, if you get the software or the information but you can't use it because you simply okay. Let me come answer that question. Alright. Solely Jinky. Ama nyingine. Jingine. This one, Jingine. Any other question? If there's any other question, I've just demonstrated a linear path. Well, not entirely linear. There's some few bits and bobs in there, but this would be a walkthrough through the BIM process. Yeah. So if you're an architect, you'd start from scratch. If you're a structural engineer, ideally, if most people go engineer structures or AutoCAD for the better part of their lives. If it's AutoCAD, there are ways to enhance AutoCAD to make it work for you. Yeah. If Ojan's your path and you're looking to start, yes, AutoCAD, but also double it with Revit, and you would be a far superior person. Yeah, not only in your industry, but even technology-wise. There are a few platforms I might suggest as well. Yeah, it's Autodesk. There's a community of knowledge out there. So before you take the softwares, I always suggest you do your research so that you can ask the questions. Yeah. Oh, hi. Okay. And what time? Yes.
I can just say that as a software inventor, let me call it like that. But I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Let me ask you a question.
I'll take it.
And for me to avoid as a contractor to avoid the maybe how do you call it? The best term is running away from me, but to avoid any contract terminations. Because you get most of the times that if I do the slab casting, I will do my cube.
Yeah.
I will prepare for my cube for the test of the density of the concrete.
Yeah.
Depending on the specification the structure engineer has given. Is there any software that I can use as a contractor on the site, even in my laptop, if I'm taking a project, before taking my cubes to the lab, to enable me with the duration, if it is 4 days, 7 days, 21 days, or 28 days, from the system direct, that if I do the cube test, I'll be able to identify that within 4 days, I'm able to attain a certain strength.
So we want to analyze
So
the
I just
context
analyze
that we
before,
have.
if I will take them to for the lab for the
Yeah.
crushing, whatever I get from the result from the machine will be almost equivalent to whatever I'm going to get from the other side.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a clear no for now. Just do the standard. Take your cubes for testing.
No, when I came here for the first time, the software was here.
That does what?
You cannot remember the name.
Assesses,
I don't know the name, but-
assesses the quality
Yeah,
of your
I cannot
content.
remember the name when you came here, whereby I did the casting today, was 21st, isn't it? 21st is February. I'll be waiting for 7 days. That is around 17 days.
That is what happened.
So I just click in my software. I just put every information that is supposed to be required there. My cube is still with me. I'm doing the query for them, but for instance, you are working in a pharmacy, in chemistry. I've uploaded a chemistry, whereby I have a software that enables me even to know ile dawa stock yako imebaki kiasi fulani. Inakuja na click, naweka red. So
All
now,
right, that one, I will give you an expert after this. I'll give you an expert.
They can explain
Yeah. He's asking, is there a software, a software that you can use to assess the quality of your concrete cubes?
The quality of your concrete cubes. Is it digital?
He's asking for a digital solution that can do that for as a contractor on site. Instead of taking your cubes to the geotechnical analysis,
No.
is there a software you can use to give you the results?
No.
Or indications on the quality of concrete or how long it's gonna take? All right? And I say no.
no, the question
No.
is, the question is,
Ask
The
the
question.
question is this.
Ask the question.
I've done my cube test today.
Yeah.
The customer was like, I've filled up every information that is required there. Unfortunately, I'm not there. But the cubes supposed to be taken to the lab for the test.
The first one after 7 days.
Yeah, the first one for the 7 days. Then this software is not giving the result of the cube because the cube has not yet been tested. The software is only indicating me, giving the result that the date for that specific cube is already reached. Then hata nikiwa mahali saa zingine siko kwa site, labda nilikuwa kwa site nyingine, nikifungua tu machine napata kama hiyo date imefika, imecross, imeweka indicate something like that. For example, you are running a chemistry. Kuna software zingine una integrate every product you have, but inakuja kwambia fulani hata kama ni flagyl is out of stock. The whatever is remaining cannot reach up next. So you need to make an order for the restocking of the flagyl. So hii nauliza kama nikiweka information zote na niko na hizo cube kabla sipeleka kwa lab, lakini it can give me, it can yani update me, a software that can update me for a day to that tomorrow is.
That is more of a site operations, project management. From a technology point of view, I know that we have niche solutions that allow you to upload and perform some base model checking. So looking at the quality of the model on the platform to actually see if it's actually meeting a specific design criteria. For example, ensuring that if you have a BIM model that's on Revit, for example, upload it onto the system. They've actually built those systems where they check the model properties, and then they advise you that, at the back end you have more or less like a dashboard that tells you, okay, this was supposed to be, let's say, concrete class 30, this has not been this has not yet been specified, so this needs to be now information that needs to be circled back to the engineer. The second time, the other thing is that we still have some open source solutions that check for things like embodied carbon and total carbon. A lot of those are free, but as far as that solution that checks the quality of your concrete, what exactly are you looking to? What exactly are you looking to create? Because I think it's possible. It's just that it's not like an out-of-the-box solution. Again, you can probably even want to even make your own custom solution.
We'll have that conversation. We'll put our heads together and see what is possible before you leave.
But as far as the broad set of technologies that are already available with what Autodesk does have. So when it comes to asset tracking, progress tracking, so having that ability to be able to check if concrete has been poured, and being able to specify that on that platform, and then on the back end you see a dashboard that tells you, okay, as far as this progress imefikia slab concrete, this is asset ililetwa, has it been poured, has it been and putting a lot of those status sets onto the platform. It's possible. Okay, we have that construction management solution that is like an all-in-one, but I think you need to have like a deep dive of some of the capabilities that's possible. But then I said, kuanza ni from the building information model. Haianzi from drawings. The best thing to start is to start nani. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you everyone. So as you can see, Citech is a plug from drawing, detailing to software. We are here for you. Now we have heard so much from the gentlemen. We need to hear from a lady. I want to invite one of our own, just to tell you what we do and how we do it best. Madam Anne, please come.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is... Oh, sorry. My name is Kibobo Anne, a product of Citech. Madam Joyce, how are you?
Good.
Yes, I came here a while back when I was a young girl. I'm still young. And I came here, I wanted to pursue hospitality and tourism, but when I came here, talked with Madam Joyce, she told me more of Citech, what they offer, what they do, and I'm proud to say, like, I am one of the products that right now I am working, and Mwalimu, Mr. Wamwika, took me through everything from drafting, structural, detailing, advanced, Mr. Jerry, softwares, AutoCAD and Revit. I am a pro in all that. So right now, I am right now, I work at the Oval, Master Consultancy. I work as a structural detailer and also a site manager. Contractor nateta sana. Pale site tunasumbuana. Watengeneza cubes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh yes, thank you very much. I remember when Anne came, she was very shy. But right now, she can go to the site. That's a very good thing. Okay, I will call one more gentleman to tell us what he does. Mr. Tarus, karibu.
Hi, Tarus. Hi, lovely to see you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Desmond Tarus.
Speak a bit louder, please.
My name is Desmond Tarus. I'm a structural technician. I work at a company called Terra Consult. It's here at Kilimani. Yeah. So before I came here, Madam Joyce called me yesterday. Then she told me that I must be here. One thing about Madam Joyce, she told my boss and my boss allowed me to come here. So at Citech, I came Citech in 2021. I was a bit shy. Even Mwalimu can testify that. When I was drawing, I was shaking hands. My hands were sweating. I didn't even know what to start from. So I learned so much about Citech. Citech has helped me a lot. I want to thank Jerry. Jerry taught me all the softwares. I learned about Revit structure, Revit MEP, and I was to come and do Procon, which I'll come to do. So I can tell students, those who want to pursue engineering, anything like civil engineering, structural, they can come to Citech. You can just come and do a course. This course can take like 4 months, and you are done. And you can go and study. If you want to do degree, you can go and do degree as part-time. This one will give you work. Direct.
Tell us what you do. Tell us on a day-to-day basis, what do you do?
Day-to-day basis, like Terra Consult.
What are some of the projects you've worked on?
I don't even know. We work, so we at there, we do a lot of projects. Sometimes I don't even know the names because there are a lot of work there. I didn't even get time to come. My boss told me that I should be at that. I just go for 30 minutes, then I go to work. So yeah, at the end of this, I'll leave him to work, and I've learned a lot about Citech. Thank you.
Thank you. Because when I try to call them, because we have new students there, they tell Mwalimu, just so I'll call me, because they're so busy. An engineer can handle 14 projects alone, and a draftsman can handle 10. So busy always, and Dr. Isa, very busy always. Please, I would like to ask you, please, do a lot of things inside it, and I'm sure you'll be somewhere. You have seen many of those who are talking to you as now engineers or detailers. Please, they have just already graduated from the Citech, this Citech now, because we teach and we are very thorough, we are very much practical, and also we add a little bit of theory. God bless you.
Yes. Okay, one thing you will realize about Citech, we not only have the right people, we also have quality people. The learning that you will get from Citech is, first, they know what they're doing. Second, they're very experienced in their fields. And third, and most importantly, they're passionate about their work. So when they're giving you, when they're training you from they're giving you the best of what they have. So we have one more person who is in the university. I also want him to let you know how Citech has helped him. Brian, please come.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Brian Mwendwa. Currently, I'm a student in the Technical University of Kenya, pursuing my bachelor's in civil engineering. And currently too, I'm a student at Citech. Well, just as a background history, the first time I heard of Citech was in high school. Well, they organized sort of a forum where they were helping us in our career choices, and they came to our school. And that's the first time I heard about Citech. And from that point, I had a passion when it comes to construction and the structural field. And being that they were already there and I had that information, I knew definitely after high school, this is where I want to be. So after high school, I joined Citech after sort of my first year in university. And now, Citech has reinforced what I am learning in the university, because currently what we are getting from the universities, yes, we have the theory part, but it's just basically theory. We really don't get the practical parts or the skills to understand what we are doing or what we are learning when we come to maybe foundation designs, or when you're designing for your slabs, when you're designing or the steel choices you're going to choose. Yes, we'll learn them in the university, but when we come to Citech, Citech helps us understand if you're choosing a specific type of steel structure, this is what you're going to use. Or if you want to use a specific type of, maybe let's say it's a foundation or a staircase, a specific type of reinforcement that you're going to use. You're going to see where that reinforcement is going to be placed. Something in university we don't really get, because in university we'll just do sort of the design aspect, we will do our calculations, but deep down you don't really know where this steel I've designed for, where it's going, you don't know. But when you come to Citech, you get the information and you get to understand that if I design for a specific part, this is where it will be and this is how it will be. And for me, I'm really grateful that I am here and I am still learning. Currently, I'm working on my project in AutoCAD and in Revit too. So I'm so grateful that I have been a part of the process, grateful to that I am able to reinforce with what I am learning in the university. Thank you so much.
Okay, so yes, please.
I had a question on, he said that Citech is very keen on the latest technologies. So I recently attended a lecture by a French lady talking about structural timber, saying that they were planning to actualize the projects here in Kenya, because we have no structural timber building. So what is Citech doing about that when it comes to the latest technology, the sustainable technology, that is structural timber, to implement it in Kenya? I mean, when it comes to that agenda, what is Citech doing?
Let me say, structural timber is a construction material, correct?
Yes.
All right, that's not our forte. Our forte is in design technologies. How do we make design, operations and management of projects, of construction projects? How do we impact that, okay? But going forward, I believe, because we are always, I'm sure there are tools to use in designing those. So we are not there. That's really not our area of focus. We focus in bringing efficiency to the design, construction, building and operation of buildings and infrastructure, okay? That's where we choose to be. So if you want to know how to shorten your project timelines, yeah, then we are the people to talk to, all right? If you want to know how to get the most, how to design most efficiently, all right? Which are the best tools, and then this is a place to be, okay? Yes, but we will keep that in mind, all right? Yes.
Okay, I just want to showcase a house by one of our own, Mr. Brian. Please, let's give him a round of applause. It's a very good house. So, in 3 months, you are able to.
You're from fourth form.
Yeah, when you're from fourth form, 3 months you are able. Mwalimu is able to take you. You can make an engineering drawing. You can do this house in AutoCAD. All this you'll be able to do in the 3 months. You see, then after that you can continue into your advanced. You do your drawing and detailing, and also there's a bit of theory. Okay, our intake, because we train you one-on-one. Our intake is anytime. If you're ready tomorrow, you can come. You know, our intake for basic drafting, drawing and detailing, advanced, MEP. Once you're ready, please just come. For the softwares, for the engineers who are watching us, and you want to train a software, please leave us with your email, leave us with your contacts on the chat if you're online, and if you're here, you can see us after this, and we can be able to send you our calendar. We have times in which we train. Like for example, in the next 2 weeks, we'll be training AutoCAD. Okay, we have different times in which we train. We start with AutoCAD, we're going to Revit. Every software we train. Yes.
I just see that you are winding up.
Yes, we are.
Come
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Let me give a brief about what I've seen on the site. Okay?
Please come here. Please come here.
Oh, he's also an old student, huh? Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
As I said, my name is Badia George. So, my name is Badia George. I'm from Nyanza, Kisumu, Homa Bay. I was given an opportunity to work with a company here in Parklands, a company called Primo Park Investment. It's a real estate company. The first project is here in Fourth Parklands. So I worked there as a clerk of work. In fact, generally, when I was given an opportunity to work with those people, that is back to 2018, I had no any idea concerned about construction. I was only having the background of selling the window glass because I was poached from Muindi company. We are selling for these glasses and doing this curtain wallings. Naona hizi nyumba tunafunika na kioo vizuri sana kama hii one Africa. That is the only work I was doing. But I came to realize that, and in as much I was doing that work, hapo kuna tulikuwa na small drawing pia, hizo vitu zinakuja tunachora kabla tuchapeleka kwa site. So when I was brought there, I had only that knowledge. Even looking the plans was not much on my side. Could see the plan and I could interpret it kidogo sana. Then I went back to town, House, a college called Web Design. In Web Design, I started with AutoCAD. But the way I saw them, they was not taking me clearly to the direction that I wanted. Then on the site there, we had a guy from Nairobi University. He's the guy who introduced me to this place. I came here and I shifted from the other side to here. I trained there and I was training only on AutoCAD and I interpreted the plan. I did not go to Revit and the rest because I was hiyo kitu nilikuwa nimeweka kwa roho. I wanted to know how to interpret the plan and hiyo plan ya drawing ya architect na hiyo structure. Kwanza kuhesabu hizo na chuma. Sana sana nilikuwa nataka nijue kuhesabu chuma. Chuma zinatakana ngapi kwa beam, ngapi zinatakana kwa column, ngapi zinatakana kwa base. Na hiyo base iko size gani? So every week we had a meeting on the site. I could listen to what the engineer is speaking, the architect. Then I talked to that guy. He brought me here. Kambia kuna mali naenda lakini sioni kama napata details vile nataka. Kambia kuja hapa. Those fees very high because if you go for cheap, it's expensive. You rather burn yourself for something that you are going to get it forever. So Citech, my friends, I'm telling you, this is the best place to be. As right now, when I completed that project, I was poached by there's a guy called Jess Mare. Jess Mare was the CEO of Center. I work with in Two Rivers, Cascadia, as a project manager for that entire project. From there, I went to a company called Ask Consultant, not Ask Consultant, but yeah, there's not Ask, but it's called Answered Home Property. Is in South Sea. Then right now, as I stand, I'm a director of a company called Miranda Engineering Consultant. I decided to open my branch, and I'm running a project right now in Italy. So to my brothers, it is not late. In fact, if you want to do something to your life, forget about whatever disturbing you. You should not be distracted with whatever you have never seen, but be disturbed whatever you have seen. That today we are here, 21st February. What will be another 21st February next year, 2025, if God gives us opportunity? Will it be the same level? Consistency brings sustainability in our life. Let us be consistent with whatever we are doing in our life. Because I had that thing back in my mind that I wanted to become a contractor. And now, I'm coming back to learn almost every software here. Because there's a lot of challenges in the field, because I know. That's why I was disturbing most of the lecture as well. I wanted to give you the concept. How can I integrate whatever I'm doing with whatever I'm going to get here? I know I'm now pursuing my higher diploma in civil engineering in Kibit. Yeah. But ile kitu iko vile bradangu amesema, it is only theory that people they're giving us. In fact, even using that, you will get that in Kibit, we only have one machine for the dumping level peke. You have to check we don't have theodolites. We don't have mesopolymet. We don't have measuring wheel. If you introduce a student, because right now I have 3 students on the site, if I try to ask them about, I've used the theodolite, what is the work of the theodolite, what is the work of the dumping level, with the mesopolymet, they don't know. But if you go to China site, we'll get the China site as identify a specific surveyor, engineer to be on the site. Tukikoroga, tukifunga columns, lazima uone hapo na hizo machines. Anazipima na calculate the coordinates, the vertical lines. Unaona nyumba ya China inasema nyumba imejengwa almost like 8 months imeisha. Na mimi najenga nyumba kama 2 years. What is that? Because they have each and every team. So on my farm, I'm coming more here to learn more about this software. And I'm coming here with the challenge that how will I integrate, or how will I, after learning this software, is there in another software that if I combine this with the one with the tools that I have, I can be working perfectly on site without even on office without even going to the site. You see? Then there's a challenge in the field. Today we are here to acquire the knowledge. We'll go to convert our knowledge to skills. But the people that we are working with, sometimes you get that most of them are class 8, some of them are from 4 dropouts, but they become more technical than the people who even gone to university. Have you seen that? Utapata fundi wa mbao, like the guy was talking about the timber structure. The timber structure, what these people are trying to do is that to do away with buying the timber because they're coming what we call the HB, isn't it? The HB system. Ambayo they want to eliminate, clients should not buy this 4x2, 6x1. So wanakuja na zile vitu zimeza tengeneza already unakuja na wewe. But if you learn, if you go with coordinate with the guy who was
Emmanuel.
No.
Jerry. Yes.
That one is just direct to the Revit. Because how you make how the beams will be lying according to the columns. Direct with the beam structure. If you go to Revit structural analysis, you just get it there. Okay. So hii kitu ya kuweka tu passion, my friend. We are going far. Our countries, the project in these countries are being taken by the Europeans. That's why Europeans like Kenya. Raila akisema leo tuende maandamano, tunasikia wazungu wanasema kule. No. Because we are going to block a lot of things. But if Kenya is in peace, wazungu wanakuja hapo wanachukua most of the contract. But we are getting knowledge the same way. I tell you that an African's mind is a mind that cannot be compared with the European mind. The only difference is the body, the skin body, my friend. God has given us a very best body, my friend, but juaje mambo ya kujidharau.
Yes.
Ukijidharau nikasema mimi siwezi fanya hii, my friend. The very word you speak that I cannot do this, God will shut it down. Because everyone was made from the word. Everything was made from the word except human being that was made in the image of God. Because if you deny yourself opportunity, that means that God did not work for you properly. Just trust your ability, my friend. No one was born stupid, no one was born poor, no one was born lame.
Yes.
Our God is not a lame God. God is a right God, my friend. We serve a living God, my friend. Put your trust there. Yes. You'll succeed.
Okay, so I think at this point we are coming to the end of our amazing morning. And let me say this. I think from everything we have presented today, you can see that you can actually secure a career for yourself, yeah, in the digitized building and construction industry today. I want to say this. The only problem that creates youth unemployment is that people do not have the right skills, the right attitudes, and the right knowledge. All right? Okay? Now, you've listened to a lot of people here, starting with the one who works for Autodesk. Yeah? Imagine He just trained here. And then he fell in love with software. He fell in love with creating this world of technology. Yeah? And what is he doing today? He's always globetrotting. Yeah? He sits and presents, yeah, these technologies in huge forums across the globe. A little young Kenyan man, all right? You've listened to Jerry, our amazing Jerry. The right attitudes, all right? This young lady, I remember her. And there are many other numerous Kenyans and Africans, all right, that I have watched over the years, and I have seen them prosper, I have seen them thrive. Some of them are not even employed by anybody, okay? They just work from home, okay? All right? Some of them are actually managing projects, like the gentleman who was just here. Some of them own their own construction firms. Others work with with engineering firms. Others work with construction firms, all right? There is so much you can do, all right? My request is, if you know anybody that you know can value from this kind of training, connect them to us. Wanda, okay? Yes. So, thank you so much, okay? And what else do I say? God bless all of you, okay? Do you want to say something? Maybe. You want to say something? My friend from Somalia, say something to close this. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Okay, I'm not from Somalia actually. I've never been there.
Oh, there's somebody here from Somalia. Where is he? He's not here today.
Okay, anyway, I
can
relate to that's where I come from. So I've been here for like 3 weeks now. All I can say is that I'm getting a lot in terms of detailing. One example I can give is the roof detailing. There's a lot I have not been seeing when I'm working. I used to say, how does the funding know the fall of this roof? Malimu has taught me a lot, of course. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. So please, if you would like, we will keep having these live events, all right? As we go along the year, we will have events such as these on different topics, all right? Yes, and we love you all. Okay? Thanks. And we have refreshments. Yes. Did anybody want to say something? We are
First of all, I prepare a model. I can will you be able to make this? And in my head, I was like, able to pengine. And then I was thinking, back there you can see the drawings. Akaniambia, after you're done with this, you're going to know about reinforcing drawings, doing structural detailing. And I was like, okay, I'm not so sure, but this sounds interesting. So the interest that I got, that's the reason why I did all this, and I'm so proud of myself. As I show my CV at the other side, nikitembea hapa Nairobi, naonesha pia nyumba zenye nimesimamia, so I am proud of myself.
Okay, thank you, very good people. Thank you for coming to and attending the event. Please, before you go, we have refreshments here. Please take something. As you go, you can come and back and eat here. Okay.